I'm Connor Shulkin, this is Emmett Bird, and this is our Designer City project, Slope City.
Slope City is a city focused on skiing and snowboarding, and our goal is to offer a high quality experience for skiers and snowboarders alike. We're trying to make it beginner and veteran focused. We're also trying to allow easier barrier for entry so more people can get into the sport, and we're trying to rebuild a ghost town in Montana anew.
For the location of our city, we plan to have Slope City be in Rochester, Montana. The reason we chose this is because it was a good area, but also the area is mainly empty. So Rochester, Montana used to be a gold mining town from 1869 to the 1980s, and it was a small, bustling community. And as you can see from this photo up here, from 1904, it used to be an actual town, but nowadays there really isn't much left in terms of town or the surrounding area. So our plan would be, to come in here and take this once, take this once bustling city, which is just now a ghost town, and to make it popular again. The reason we chose Rochester to be the base for Slope City wasn't just because we wanted to restore an old mining town. It was because of the 4 mountains surrounding it, which would help out for skiing and snowboarding. So we have McCartney Mountain, Tweedy Mountain, Table Mountain, and Hollowtop Mountain. These 4 would obviously be the main mountains, with McCartney Mountain over here kind of acting as a beginner, sort of just beginner hill for people that are newer, due to it being the closest and also being the smallest of the 4 mountains.
So the goal of Slope City is to break down the barriers of entry to skiing and snowboarding. Currently the sport is harder to get into for different people because of the pricing and the regions that it exists in. It's not universal throughout the country. We're trying to lower costs by providing affordable housing and public transport for people to be able to get to the mountains and get on the slopes. And we're trying to just diversify the sport because currently it's a very white sport, and we want to allow people from all different backgrounds to enjoy it. We're also, as we previously stated, trying to rebuild a ghost town in Montana that before Slope City coming in was pretty much just ruins. It had nobody living there. We're trying to create the new city to be a tourist destination because it will be able to generate revenue for the state of Montana and benefit the state as a whole, not just the city, and just bring money into the state, helping the state economy. All right, so funding for the city is going to be provided by 3 main sources, 2 of which being the Ski Duck charity, the Move United charity, and then the state of Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Agency. Ski Duck is a charity based in Tahoe, California that focuses on giving access to ski trips for underprivileged and disadvantaged youth. Move United is a charity that focuses on giving people with disabilities the opportunity to go on different adventures such as skiing, mountain biking, and they provide freedom and a way for people with disabilities to be able to lead normal lives and become leaders in their own lives. And the Fish and Wildlife Agency for Montana, being our 3rd one, is mostly because they focus on parks and protecting the natural resources of the state. And since our city is focused on skiing and snowboarding, they go hand in hand. We chose these 3 backers because they are aligning with the goals of the city to provide more access to skiing and snowboarding for all different people.
With Slope City being kind of heavily focused on skiing and snowboarding, a major concern that backers could have would be that there really wouldn't be anything to do outside of the winter, which could be further from the truth. So the main 2 things that would be on the mountains would be having ropes course that would be in the woods, and then also having mountain biking. With the mountain biking, we would be able to just repurpose the trails, make them friendly for mountain bikers, and then have repurposed chairlifts to have them take it to the top of the mountain. This has been done successfully out here in the East Coast, but not too much out on the West Coast, so it would be nice to kind of bring this out west. And then finally, we would also want to have, just the nightlife in our town. We just want to have different events and different things for people to do in town. So, it gives people a reason to come visit the city itself and also the mountains.
So, part of the reason we chose Rochester, Montana is due to the local environment. The climate is temperate, meaning it has all 4 seasons. It reaches summer temps in the 70s to 80 range for the summer highs, and then for the winter averages, it's in the teens to 20s. The landscape, like we said before, has 4 major mountains. Here is Tweedy Mountain, and you can see it's a pretty steep mountain, but it would be good for more advanced skiers. The shortest mountain is 8,300 feet, and that would be McCarthy Mountain, and the highest mountain is 1,100 feet, and that's Tweedy Mountain. So the city is on the foothills of the Table Mountain, and it is actually flanked by the Jefferson River to the east and the Bighorn River to the west. These rivers would provide water sources for the city so they can have drinking water. And so this map here is showing snowfall totals in the month of May for western Montana, and the town, Rochester, is around here, so they have 103 inches in May, so the snowfall is pretty nice. The average snowfall cover for Madison County is about 300 inches, and that would just be plenty for skiing.
For the structure of Slope City, it should be able to house 15,000 permanent residents and then around 5,000 tourists or people that just stay there annually. The city's going to have all the necessities that a city should have. It should have hospitals, police departments, general stores, libraries, and it'll have a town center with restaurants, bars, and different entertainment centers. So the photo to the left over there, that's Spruce Peak Lodge in Stowe, Vermont. And it is, it's very nice. It has many different restaurants and entertainment. It has like an ice skating rink in the middle. And I've been there before, and it was kind of an inspiration. It's pretty close to the actual mountain of Stowe, and it's a great way to just relax and hang out after a long day in the slopes. So we wanted to take something like that, of a place to hang out after skiing, but then make it into a just full-blown city for people to live there year-round. In terms of Slope City's technology, these are kind of like the 4 main standouts to help maintain and make it the best possible city it can be. So over here we have spotlights on the trails, on the ski trails themselves, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but a lot of mountains out west don't have night skiing, which allows them to close a lot earlier at around usually 4 p.m., whereas mountains that have night skiing don't close until around 10. This is good as it allows the city, it allows the trails to stay open for longer. It also generate more revenue, and people can just then, after they're done skiing, head to the town. On the top left is a snowcat. This is going to allow the trails to be maintained at all times, so that we can try to have as many trails open as possible. Same with the snow guns in the bottom left. Again, to just cover areas that haven't been touched by snow, just to try to make the trails safer, try to make it better. And then in the bottom right here is buses. These are buses that will transport people from mountain to mountain or to get back to the city. And then also for buses, there will be buses that just go around the city to help people get to where they need to go, so they don't have to have a car. There's plenty of job opportunities in Slope City that have to do with skiing and not to do with skiing. We can, we'll have people that will be making their own skis and snowboards. It'll allow them to be a lot cheaper. If for jobs in ski careers, you can be, ski patrol, technicians, engineers working on the lifts, and then also just regular jobs like police, doctors, other first responders. There's plenty of things to do, plenty of jobs that will be needed in Slope City.
For Slope City's culture, our goal is to promote a sense of community and have a lively downtown with restaurants and lots of activities at night, so the city has stuff to do aside from skiing. For public events, such as parades and festivals, we want to have one in the winter, like a holiday event, and then just have things for the community and tourists to do, just so they don't get bored when they aren't skiing. Promote people coming to the summer and not just coming for the winter. We want to have some type of mountain biking competition with like a Red Bull sponsorship. So here's our map. We designed it to look like a pair of ski goggles because the city in the end is themed after skiing and snowboarding. So here it is.